Honorable Men Discord. Rest in peace, young noble of the Outlawz. Let's talk about it.
How you see yourself is how you perceived. I see a man strong, gifted, head strapping, never down on his knees, begging. Gotta make a way, even in my darkest hour. Say the odds against me was new. I would never cower.
Welcome back to another episode. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. This episode is just to pay respect to young noble, who was a member of the Outlawz, who unfortunately took his life on July 4th. And I just have two things queued up from an interview. I pulled this from Hip Hop Jesus. So these are just two interviews that, it's the same interview, but two different clips from the interview of him speaking on his time with the Outlawz and his time with Tupac. And then I'm going to speak about it further after.
So me, Castro, and Fatal, we went to the studio to pick up something for Pop, Can-Am Studio. And the engineer was in there. Nobody wasn't doing nothing. They bring up a beat. Castro and Edie was going to do a song. Or Castro and Fatal, they wanted to do a song. They're like, yo, no, hop on the song. So I hop on the song and they bring the tape back, play it for Pop. They're like, yo, that's Nob on there. Listen to Nob. Pac heard it like, oh, you sound pretty good. That was that. And Pac was like, he asked me this day, like, yo, let me hear some more raps and And I'm like, all right, I just so happened to have my notebook in the car, And I went out and got my notebook and I kicked maybe like 5 or 6 raps for him, and he went crazy, man. He went crazy. He was actually like the initial response was a little different to me because he was like excited, and then he kind of like got a little mad at me that I been living in his house, and I was there when he was recording All Eyes on Me and all this stuff, and I never rap for him. So you got to understand, anybody who meet Tupac that know how to rap, the first thing they want to fucking do is rap for him right on the spot, And he was like, yo, you could rap, you know how to rap this good the whole time, and you ain't say nothing. It was like, I was just so humble. I wasn't there to be a rapper. I was there to support my brothers Gaddafi and Fatal. I wasn't trying to impose on what they was doing in no shape, form, or fashion. Like, there's so many pictures I see these days where I would move out the way. Like, I'm not in the rap group. I'm in the Outlawz. I got my tattoo. Tupac paid for my tattoo. I'm the last one he took and got this tattoo. This before he even heard me rap, you know what I mean? And I wasn't trying to impose on what my guys was doing. I was there just trying to play my position however I could help. But he heard me rap, and he was like, he said, everybody who think Nob should be in the group, raise your hand. And he raised his hand first, and everybody raised their hand. I'm like, okay. So he, I remember what he told me. He said, I saw the excitement. I think his level of respect went out the roof for me that, I've been around all this months and I'm living in his house, and I never tried to force any music on him. So me, Cat.
Let's get into the next clip.
Me as an 18-year-old kid, man, that shit was crazy. When I was 18, all that happened. Pac died, Gaddafi died, Fatal left the group, Machiavelli dropped, Biggie died. All that shit happened when I was 18 years old, man. It was I got a 17-year-old daughter, man. Me as an 8.
That was a real short clip. Listen, I know that feeling. He said at 18 years old. Well, I don't know exactly what he went through with losing that many people at the same time. But what I will say to you gentlemen watching this episode is we all go through highs and lows, right? We don't necessarily publicize it for obvious reasons. We're told to be strong. We have to be strong for our family. We have to be strong for our children. But just understand this. If you ever get to a point where you start feeling like you want to end it all, just reach out to someone and make several attempts. Don't make one attempt. You make a call to someone, they don't pick up, call someone else. Put a high number in your mind. And hopefully none of you get to the point where you feel like you want to end it all. But if that was to ever happen, let me just slide this over. I don't like how this is. If that was ever to happen, I just encourage all of you to hang in there and set an absurd number. 20 calls. Make 20 calls. And I would say make an even higher number, because God forbid you make 20 calls and all 20 people happen to be busy. I'm just saying that to say this, man. Hang in there. Because especially when you have children, and even if you don't have children, there's always a reason worth living for. And I would suggest, even if immediate friends or family are unreachable, take a walk outside. Express your thoughts to a stranger. You have nothing to lose. They don't know you. You don't know them. Tell a stranger. Speak to a senior citizen, someone that's made it to their 80s, 90s, 70s, and say, hey, do you mind if I share something with you? And you'll be surprised, especially seniors. There's a lot of seniors out there that in this world in 2025 and even before 2025, seniors are looking for company. They're bored out of their minds. Seniors have been blessed to see a late age in life, and what comes along with that blessing is they lose a lot of friends and family. So you see a lot of seniors just sitting alone in places, eating food by themselves. And I'm saying this as a means, as a solution to anyone having thoughts of just ending it all. Take a walk. The first person you see, that may be sitting down and they look like they have time to listen. Or if that feeling is very strong, I just suggest that you stop the person no matter what they're doing. It could seem like they're in a rush. Just stop them. Say, listen, I know you don't know me, but I'm having bad feelings, and tell them, share with them. And I'm sure that person is going to say something to you that you may not have considered and encourage you to just hang in there. I'm just going to share a story, but I'm not going to share the name. When I was in high school, student athlete, smart guy, lived in my neighborhood. This is high school now, right? And this wasn't the first death I experienced in high school. One happened to be a friend's friend who was murdered on Halloween, but that's a whole nother story. I don't want to go off course here. But I had a friend in high school. He lived in my neighborhood. He didn't go to my high school right away. He came after the fact. And I was so excited when he came because I knew how talented he was in terms of playing basketball, right? He was short, but, exceptional athlete. He could jump out, off the roof. The guy, I can't recall his exact height, but I mean, he was able to dunk, and he was definitely not even 6 feet. And scholar, I mean, nearly had a perfect SAT score. I looked at him like, he was an alien. I was like, man, you could hoop, and you're excellent in class. You're an excellent student. Where am I going with this? He got to a point where he was very private, by the way, for, in high school, very private, very much a loner, private, a loner. And just one day, I guess he couldn't take it any longer. He was going through some situations with his son's mother, and it was said that he couldn't take it any longer. And although he did make a phone call, as far as I can recall, to one of his friends, that person, I guess, was busy and didn't catch the phone call. And unfortunately, he took his life. And that's why I'm saying, for anyone that's experiencing a low reach out to several people, but don't just lean on that. Take a walk outside and speak to a stranger. You'll be surprised. Everyone's going through something. Everyone has gone through something. Everyone has something of value to share with you. You'd be surprised. You're not alone. You know, I could sit here and look up numbers to post on this video, but you know, let's be honest. Many of you live in different states. Many of you, some of you may even live in a different country. So just take heed to that suggestion that I'm giving you. That suggestion that I'm giving you, I'm sharing with you. It's a pure suggestion. It's a sincere suggestion. I want to see all of you out there make it to another day. All right. And I know it's easier said than done, because I don't know what any of you are going through, what type of trauma, what type of death you've experienced. But, you know, just know there's a reason to live. You know, there's always a reason to live. And I encourage you all to just stay strong. But again, rest in peace, young Noble. Condolences to his family, his friends. And may he rest in peace. May he rest in peace. But I'm going to end on that note. And I appreciate everyone for tuning in. And for those of you that may know family members or friends that actually shared feelings like this, similar, you know, to what he may have been going through. Who knows if he even shared it with his friends. But for those of you that actually have friends that may have shared information like this with you, first and foremost, I advise that you keep those emotions that they shared private, but encourage them to hang in there. Now, unless if there's a situation where it seems like it's spiraling out of control, then try to reach out to, you know, professionals to intervene and help that person. But again, I appreciate everyone for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next episode. Take care.